It's like middle of the day on a Friday, so strength block is super quiet. I have the whole gym to myself. This won't last long, but I've got to try get this training session in before I've got clients.
Rip and tear until it is done.
So one of the main ways that I like to train upper body is using like push-pull supersets, right? So muscles are designed to work in antagonistic pairs. So for instance, if you were to look at curling your arm like so, your biceps shortening while your triceps lengthening, right? That's the antagonistic pair. If I stretch out my hand again, opposite is happening. The triceps contracting and the biceps lengthening. And this is how the entire body works. It's like a mechanism of elastic bands that push and pull on each other. So I like to train that way, using antagonistic movement patterns to get through workouts faster and basically just balance everything out. So to start with, I am going to start with like a bench press superset with a bent over row, because you've got the horizontal press and the horizontal pull, right? So that's an antagonistic superset, very science-based. Auto-calculate my percentages so I don't have to think about it during training. Fills everything out based on my 1 rep maxes, tracks everything. Give it a go. Link in the description, free 7-day trial. You won't regret it. Top set for today shouldn't be too bad. 125 for 5. We're taking it low and slow while we steadily rebuild my bench to where it used to be. So let's go. We're only on the second wave of this block, so it should be moderately difficult, which I think it was. Plenty more in the tank still though. So I love the push-pull antagonistic superset, and like I alluded to before, it is like science-based. But I do have some thoughts on science-based lifting, right? You have a lot of coaches that are very like, I'm evidence-based, I'm science-based. And I think that It is important for these coaches to exist, and there is a lot we can learn from them. Like, I've learned a lot from Jeff Nippard. I've learned a lot from Mike Israetel, all of the like science-based lifting community. But I think it's a lane that you shouldn't get stuck in. Don't worry about like always being optimal. If you are stuck in this rut of trying to get like perfect form, perfect progression, perfect training systems, you are likely to just stay in one place and be majoring in the minors, right? You end up overthinking, overcomplicating, and you're better off getting like 80% of it correct and progressing that than forever trying to reach 100% and never implementing any progression. If you're training and it feels right and you're getting stronger, then what you're doing is probably fine. Revert back to science-based things when you hit plateaus and when you no longer know how to progress past certain points. And it's my job as a coach to figure out what works for each person, but it differs across the board. You know, like, you can't tell me that someone like Sam Sulik that is impressive as hell, right? Like, he's built a lot of muscle mass with ego lifting and reduced range of motion, doesn't also enter the conversation as something that we can use in our training, even if the science saying it's suboptimal. You know, maybe being optimal sometimes inhibits you from pressing forward. It's the same with like, if we want to simplify it, like the rows, you know, I will often get like, you're cheat rowing, reduce the weight. I was stuck strict rowing for so long until I started doing cheat rows and develop better neurological strength. I can now go back to strict rows and row far more than I ever could have done if I had just stuck to what the science-based proper row technique is. I needed to break convention safely, do what my body felt right to move weight, get more volume, and then when I returned to the proper training stimulus, it was easier, right? And that is just training in general. Don't major in the minors, keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it, and you'll be just fine. See, one of the reasons why I love the supersets is you actually get like a stack of volume in a very short amount of time. I just did over 50 quality reps, no junk volume, good weight loading throughout all of it, thanks to the Strength Block app that told me exactly what to do. If I did these as two separate things, the training session would take me like double the length of time, right? You can jump backwards and forwards. It takes some getting used to, but once you understand and get used to the fact that because they are opposite movements, they don't really fatigue each other too much, especially once you're conditioned to it, and therefore you don't ever have to compromise on each movement whilst getting in a stack of volume. So we're going to keep on with this push-pull superset workout. We're now going into vertical pulls, vertical presses, which obviously means overhead press, weighted chin-ups, weighted pull-ups. Well, there you have it. The push-pull upper body day. So yeah, not everything's crazy, jumps, kettlebell swings, all that kind of stuff. I do have like a base level of training. I never film this stuff because I normally find it really boring, but then I also sometimes feel like it's misleading when people see that I can like bench 160 and they see the training methods I put up and think that's the way I've done it, and it isn't. And that also all ties back into the evidence-based lifting thing, right? Like, you can't just trust the training methodology. There is some nuance in how you are personally going to progress, what is going to keep you engaged, because that's also super important. Maybe you are a person that loves the science, loves the numbers. Maybe you're like me and you have to be a little bit wild with it. Whew. But yeah, that's the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Really doing my best to try do this more consistently, and I've been loving the feedback I've been getting, so until next time.